Alrighty. Nice. So,
are we on a podcast?
is this a podcast?
We're on a podcast?
Okay.
All right, wait, give me a second.
I like that.
I'm not ready.
Cool.
Now, this is going to be a little different. Daniel, why don't you explain to them what's going to happen today?
All right, guys. So, we're going to depart from our usual approach.
Yeah.
And we're not just going to talk about this episode. We're going to take some fan
We're gonna take some fan
suggestions.
questions. Woo!
Questions.
Yeah, we're gonna do this pod survival guide a little different. We're gonna answer. I asked on Instagram for questions from fans,
I'm going to
and
stop eating these
What have the Neds
Neds?
yeah, you're gonna need to stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
Crunching.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry.
We're on an
A lot of noise.
we're on an audio
Quiet on set.
podcast.
Nedheads have spoken. What did they say?
Real quick, I was so happy to learn that there's like actually a name and a pattern for feeling rage when you hear someone chewing.
Oh.
Like it's actually a thing, and not everyone has it. I have it. Not right now with you, but it is a thing. There
Wait,
are
it's selective?
What do you mean? Yeah, it's not all the. It doesn't always happen. I'm not close enough. Like I'm not close enough. My ear isn't close enough to you. But
I thought people made millions of dollars doing
no, this is some people do.
Yeah,
But for
mukbang,
me, I've known it throughout my life. Like it's irrational. Like
Right.
I hear
No,
someone
it's
chewing,
like-
and I feel like something's like I know it's not their fault. Like
My
I know
girl
they're
has
doing
that.
something.
Yeah, she
And so
hates when
there's an actual. There's an actual name for it. Like it's a I don't know, some brain trigger.
You know
thing.
what's like
Yeah.
horrible is just like when it's so loud, but their mouth is like
It's
so
closed.
And you're like,
That when you're hearing all the no,
What's
I don't have
happening?
it
I'm
at
in.
all.
I can't be in the room.
Interesting.
I can't be in the room.
I don't have it at all. I'm like, if someone's eating, like, just eat.
No, I
Because
know.
my girlfriend has gone off on me about that, and I'm like, yo,
She's wrong.
yeah, you gotta leave.
No,
yeah, no, I can't be here.
I know I can't put it on the other person because
Yeah.
they're fucking eating. Like
Yeah, they're just eating.
I know, but
Different
I
sounds.
also can't separate the fact that I am enraged.
Rage. And what
Right.
is it? It has a name. Do we know?
I forget it. There is a name for it. Some scientific name that they've put out for it. You guys
I
got
don't know,
it.
that'd
What
be
is
hard
the
for
name?
Alberto to
Rage when
search.
hearing eating sounds.
Mastication. You don't like the sound of mastication.
Yeah, I heard it recently and I actually felt better. I'm like, oh, I'm not just a fucking psycho. Other people are psychos too.
Other people. Misophonia.
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 It's hearing the shit.
Specifically for eating.
Yes.
Misophonia.
And it's going to give you an irrational emotional response.
Irrational.
Hey, quick question.
Hi.
What is that thing called? Like cute aggression? Is it just called cute aggression? When like you see
Cute?
something that you just
Oh,
where you wanna murder a puppy?
Oh.
This.
Dang.
You never
Yeah.
had that.
Where I wanted to murder a cute thing? No.
Yeah, like you see something so cute that you just want to smash it.
No.
Like it's so
dang.
beautiful.
Daniel,
It's so
you don't
beautiful.
understand.
I need to
It's-
smash it.
Like it's
I have never experienced that.
One day.
Anyway,
One
if
day.
that's
Anyway.
called something,
Well, then.
yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna answer the questions from fans. Listen, you guys sent me. I have put out this little thing on Instagram before. Ask me things. I have never gotten this many responses as when I said Ned, Mose, and Cookie are on a podcast. What do you want to ask? So,
Nice.
Did you see? Wait. Did you see the only comment that I approved under? Yes, I approved comments because
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Go
on.
The only one I approved was like, "Dang, Daniel grew up." Everybody's over there liking it.
Turn up.
I love the Cookie because we've known Daniel's been sexy since
Oh,
right
just
after Ned.
Literally.
Like
First-hand accounts, yeah.
yeah, like,
I felt like I could barely approach him on Neds.
yeah. Like we've known you've been sexy. I love watching people catch up. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
it's crazy.
Here's a funny one. We'll start light. Masononius123 says, when you get money, do you save it or spend it all in a short amount of time?
Depends on the person.
Depends on the money. Well,
No, that
let's
too.
each give our. I mean,
Look. Look, your relationship with money is gonna change. That's basically what I can say.
it's true. It's fluid.
And you're gonna overestimate and underestimate. Your guesstimates are gonna be wrong. But the point is, I spend it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could give you a little dance. I could give you a little song and dance, Nedhead podcast listeners, but I spend it. but I spend it on my life. I pay rent in Los Angeles. I spend it on food. I spend it on gas. But I
As you
spend it.
dance.
I'm not at a point currently. I'm not at a point where I'm making a
Enough
nice surplus to
to
be
save.
tucking it away.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah.
like, no.
So
And
It's
it
gonna
doesn't
go
feel
anyway.
worth it with the hell you have to get through in a day. So you're like, please, if I don't treat myself to this, I'm not going to be able to keep going in this hell to just like barely make everything work tomorrow.
actually,
you know what I mean?
That's actually like a really deep point that I realized when I fucking ran out of money was like, man, this is really fucking hard because now I can't spend. Now I need to shut off any extra spending.
Yeah.
But now my life is more stressful than ever, and shutting off any little treating myself is like a cycle that's sending me into more stress and struggle. And it's tragic, dude. People do not understand. People who aren't living paycheck to paycheck do not understand what your life becomes and how just like shut down it is and how stressful, and that you can't treat yourself. So then you stop feeling like fucking worthy of things. Like it is
treatment.
It is a brutal cycle when you're paycheck to paycheck. Shit's brutal.
Yeah, the goal is to save for sure. I think we all want to do that.
Especially as adults.
Especially as adults.
Yeah.
But budgeting is just the way. At least then when you do spend, more than you wanted to, you know what it was allocated towards, so just keep a list of what you want to buy or need to buy, I think.
Yeah, Lindsey, Daniel has told me about this word before, budgeting. Have you ever encountered it?
How do you spell that?
Yeah.
Right.
Is it French? Because I pretty much stay away from it because it scares me if I actually did the accounting.
Do I just sign that at the end of the year? Or like, what's up?
No, that's tough. Money is a tough
Money's
thing, guys.
tough.
Okay, so
guys.
here's the thing. In my astrology chart, if you believe in that,
Go on.
anything with 2 or more planets, it's called a stellium in that house. So I have a stellium in my second house of money, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn, but they all have different ideas about money. So it's like a lot of energy in that house. So I think it'll always be coming, but until you learn how to like fit all of that energy for that house into something, I really truly always feel like somehow the universe always comes through and like just right when I need it, man. Like it's kind of incredible.
I hate those testy moments because that's how it seems to work.
Scary.
Like, God or whoever, whatever in the universe steps in. But I'm like, I got to stop doing this. I got to learn my lesson.
Did I have to get this close?
And I have a problem with giving to others. That's my thing. Like, I can help you out. It's going to be fine. And then now hardship hits me. And I'm like,
oh, man.
And now I got to hate this person. He was my favorite cousin. I'm joking.
This kind of tags on to this. It just expands beyond money. F. Mongoose asked, how do you guys find a good balance in life? Very broad question.
Very broad.
How do you find a good balance?
I need to know what I'm balancing first.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're balancing relationship to money. Everything is balance.
I mean, I just keep trying.
Yeah.
That's about what I can say. I don't think balance, not even in yoga, is that my strong suit, that set of poses. Like balance is so very hard. And balance between your hemispheres is why I go a lot to breathing. But recently, and yes, since I've gotten sober, it's crazy like how much more respect I have for the body. And I think anytime like self-care, which is that you can get into the body, right? That is balance in life. Anytime that you can just be right there. Like I have never been so content at friends' game nights. I used to not be able to stay at a place. I was like, where else do I go? This isn't fun. I don't want to be here. And I don't know, just realizing that audition or that opportunity is just it's not life. Like the balance of life is just realizing what's important in life, And
being in your
and then I
body
think
and
your
being
priorities sort of like, but your expectations still have to be managed, obviously. And it's not like there's no annoyance, even when that balance comes into place, because you're kind of used to like your central nervous system is used to another pace or like yada, yada, yada. But I don't know. Balance is just a long road.
I will say what comes to me with this is in life, balance wants to occur. Like naturally, energies want to balance, meaning when shit's out of balance, you just have to pay attention because shit'll be off. The results will be there. So I would just say to each of our lives are so specific. So balancing them is very specific, but I think it's just about paying attention. Pay attention to what's in your life.
Disagree with that phrase. When you know better, you do better. It's when you feel better, you do better, And it's like paying attention. Like I had all the knowledge in the world. I paid attention to myself like a motherfucker. Did that keep me from understanding why I wanted to feel that way and why I thought I deserved it. Even though intellectually I'm like, wow, look how much greener the grass is over there. But I don't know why this shit tastes so good, right? And like, I know I'll always have a home here. So it's like, it's not, I don't think it's a cognitive knowledge. It's a safety that you feel within yourself, like a consistency and relying on yourself.
And that's what I'm saying. Like not paying attention necessarily intellectually. Pay attention. The feedback will show up when you're out of money. You gotta balance your relationship with your money. Like when shit's falling apart around you consistently, something's out of balance. Like even the masculine and feminine conversation we had, like life showed me that I was too in my feminine, like because it wasn't working. It wasn't working. The things that I want, the outcomes that I wanted, the feelings that I wanted to give others, the feelings that I wanted to give myself, it wasn't happening. So something was out of balance. And then it's just constant dance and constant experiment in trying to get it to a place where it's like, oh no, this feels good. No, okay, no, this feels right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like a lifelong fucking journey.
So real, man. And I think it's so interesting that we use that term balance, for like your account balance. Like, so you know your life's out of balance when that account balance is out of balance. But that's in capitalistic society. For me, I kind of believe in like a triangle of like your mental health. So you got to make sure your mental health is good. You got to make sure your physical health is good. And then your spiritual health is good. I think as long as those three things are at least being considered by me, as long as I can pay a little bit of attention to all of those and make sure I'm feeling good in those areas, things tend to work. I feel more inspired to do the right things to reach my goals. That's how I keep balance.
I think the best way towards balance, though, is really to meet yourself exactly where you are. You got to embrace exactly where you are. I think to even like,
What do you mean, like knowing what what options are available to you as well? Like
knowing what you're actually capable of in that moment, knowing what your ideal is, and then like I said, what your capabilities are, what you got to practice to like get to there.
Without setting goals that are way too out of
exactly.
reach.
I think like for a long time, like I only lived in like the ideal of I should do this way. I like this is the best way to do it, or I read somewhere that this is like, we should worry about this if we use this. And I just was like never grounded in something I believed in.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
For guidance from
right?
outside.
Like, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, well, I just lost my train of thought.
Well, I mean, we're talking about balance. Yeah. That was legit. Yeah.
Yeah. So hope we helped you.
Your own definition of balance versus someone else's.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, balance is deeply personal. You can't live by what the self-help books are telling you balance is unless it's coming through you, from you, of you,
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do another. Chewy Coronel says, how was it growing up in the spotlight, guys?
In the spotlight, you say.
How was it growing up in the spotlight? Anyone?
It still felt like a dark cloud, personally. Yeah. No. I was never at a point when I was by myself that I felt settled or okay. I was almost completely detached, and I would only feel my life experiences when I was with another person, or I like was talking to another person, when they were like reflected back at me, or my own ideas were reflected back at me through them. Right? It's almost like my brain went into like static or white noise when I'm by myself. I don't know if it's a fear or freeze or flight, like that kind of hits you when you have to be alone and intimate with yourself. But that didn't happen for me for so long. You know what I mean?
It's when you're in the spotlight, like you don't have to be. There's always somewhere to be and do and be seen.
I was always trying to like catch up in my own mind, regardless of what I was achieving outside of myself. In my own mind, I just was still, I was treating myself like nothing had happened to me external, right?
Yeah.
Like that just didn't even find its way into me, into that heart.
I think that's a case for a lot of people. It's like from the outside, it's easy to look at spotlight, limelight, fame, attention like that and think, oh, that's going to solve this hole that I feel inside me. That's going to solve the I'm not enough. That's going to solve the I'll never be enough. Like all those fears and doubts, you think that attention is going to validate it away. And it's just pretty much universal that it might for a moment, you might think, and it doesn't. That can't solve it. Like, it can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But growing up in the spotlight. Also, I felt like we were at like this nice in-between level.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
Neds, the way I describe it to people is whether you watched Hannah Montana or not, you knew who the fuck Miley Cyrus was.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch Neds, you didn't know we existed.
Right.
But if you watch Neds, you knew us and loved us.
There you go.
And so that like put us in this weird in-between where it's like I was still able to be anonymous in a lot of situations and experience the spotlight as the pursuit of what I loved. Like that came with me pursuing what I absolutely loved and wanted to do. So I don't know, it was kind of nice. And I still, like, we had our house in Georgia like until I was 19. So I would go back to Georgia and just feel like I'm just back at home with people I've grown up with my entire life. Like, it's all good. So I guess I felt like my experience of it was a nice in-between where I could do both and we weren't so fucking big that you can't like move through the world, you know?
Yeah.
See, Spotlight for me has a different, like, acting is very personal, very private, very amazing. But I think I actually like didn't really want to be seen as myself without that extra layer of clothing on. Like, I didn't like red carpets. I don't like dressing up and going to them and getting all of that.
Yep.
I don't. Yeah. I always used to say this would be the perfect job if you didn't have to do the press.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I didn't want that spotlight on myself. Like, it's like, here, let me show up this way. And this is a part of me inside that I would really,
acting. Let me show up in my craft, in my shit.
Yeah. And in a controlled environment where it's going to be heard, potent, and received rather than this just chaotic, isolated mess.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I fully agree with that. And then, you know, spotlight is like a term to use, but it's like, okay, what does that really mean? Is it the being on TV? Like, oh, that's a spotlight. I think of this spotlight more like a microscope than anything. And microscopes are very uncomfortable to be under. So like that whole press thing, I got to show up here and be gorgeous if that's what you're selling, or funny if that's what you're selling. You know, it's very tough when you're doing anything to be under a microscope. Yeah.
Because you start performing for the scope.
Yep.
That I definitely had to go through in my 20s was detaching that relationship. Because like we booked Neds, you go through like media training, like you go through how you're supposed to relate to the press, media. You learn what like mask you need to put on to be, and as a kid, for me, it's like I want to be a good boy. I want to do what's right. I want to hit the mark.
People please.
But you're doing that with your being.
Yeah.
So I definitely had to relearn who the fuck I am. I had to reprogram after that phase. Man, like giving a kid insane amounts of attention and validation that you get as an actor, but for performing, even when they're just being themselves, like you start to become a caricature of your own self. Like your mask is you, but it's not you. But yeah, I definitely developed some major like people pleasing, always considering the external before myself because of this kind of relationship.
What are the optics of what I'm doing versus how does this actually make me feel?
Again, I'm always going to talk about it. Burning Man like liberated me in that way. That first time I went, I spent my entire life as an actor. I think all kids, and I think plenty of adults, are very self-aware. We're aware, what are people perceiving about me? How am I coming across? As actors, we're doing that on another level, and we are opening ourselves up to that perception and rejection all the time. It is constantly, it matters how people perceive you when you're an actor because you're trying to get booked. So like you are hyper aware. Am I dressing the right way? Am I answering things right? How's my energy? Am I smiling? Right? So doing that for years, I didn't realize what it was doing. And then I got to like Burning Man the first time and was just like walking around in the dust wearing what the fuck ever. And everyone else is, and nobody gives a shit. I was free. I got to meet myself just free. No, it didn't matter. No one was judging me. I could feel it. Oh, I could feel it. Oh, there's no judgment.
I'm in the horde.
Because no matter what perspective you get on your life, you can feel when you walk into a room and you're being judged. You can turn it off, or you can try and turn off your care to it, but that's an active energy. You can feel it when you're being judged.
Yeah.
In the regular world, you feel it. I'm hyper aware of it. So going to a space where it wasn't even there, I went, oh, whoa, I am much bigger than I've let myself be. And like, I really like myself. I like who I am. Who am I actually?
Finding out. Yeah,
wait,
exactly. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, maybe I'm bigger than I thought. Like, maybe, wow. So yeah, that's definitely been a process.
I can say and do things without considering what other people are thinking.
Yes, I can act out of my own feeling and my own intuition and actually trust I don't have to relate it to others.
Yeah. I can be considerate of others,
for sure.
but not like, oh, I need that validation.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like my entire concept is not based off of like a sound, like something bouncing back at me from another.
Which being a kid actor, you have to be, everything is based on the external response to you.
Yep. Cut.
You get trained
like
in
this,
it.
Actually,
Did I do, and you're a kid, so did I do good?
Hit your
How's the response? Did I do good? Did I do good? And then you are fucking anxious and neurotic. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing.
And then you start expecting your friends to tell you you're good and funny, and you start keeping that performance. At least for me, like that performance continued, off of set. It like made me not as close to people, even though people are like, she's clever. It was like it was the easiest way to not know people. Too.
Yeah. And people aren't looking for that from you. Like, we were validated for it because we were doing a job. We needed to perform. But then when you get into regular relationships, people are like, I don't
like to be around that.
Can you just be? Cut it out. What are you doing?
Stop asking me if you're good.
It's real.
I don't know.
Support for Neds Declassified Podcast Survival Guide is brought to you by
Manscaped.
Manscaped.
The best in below-the-waist men's grooming.
Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
It's time to improve your quality of life. So go on down to manscaped.com and use our discount code for 20% off your next purchase.
Your balls will thank you.
Look at me. Nobody wants to machete through a jungle to get to you, but I get it. You might be afraid from one too many ball nicks. We've all been there, right? Well, Manscaped has solved that for us.
At Manscaped, we now have the Performance Package 4.0. You need this in your life.
I've tried it, and it's nice. Inside the package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies.
Get 20% off and free shipping using the code NEDSPOD at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping using the code NEDSPOD at manscaped.com.
This package is amazing. Love you.
Devonisms asked, is Doug Sexy alive? And I have to say,
Doug Sexy never was.
Exactly. Did we ever?
Was he an actual individual? We got to look on IMDb.
Maybe
I thought
we'll
it was
get
just a big crowd.
I know. Maybe we'll get to him. And did they ever show? I don't think they ever showed him. The gag is you never see him.
You never see him. How many more episodes? I mean, how many episodes is he in?
More.
Okay.
I remember, like, it's a running gag.
Okay.
He's in he plays out through the series. But that's a funny question. But Doug Sexy never existed, dude. Doug Sexy's an idea, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Doug Sexy's in your head, man.
There's no ideal, beautiful person.
Come on, man. D. Noled Hictum. I don't.
Dictum.
Nice.
Said
Cousin.
also would Daniel consider performing Cowboy Cookie live?
Well, this isn't live, so I won't be doing it here. But we can figure it out. Yeah, we can figure it out.
Cowboy Cookie. I kind of forgot about
if
Cowboy
Lil Nas
Cookie.
X, if Lil Nas X comes on to do it, we can do it.
You guys
Cowboy
can do
Cookie.
a little
Cowboy Hookie, Old Town Road.
Old Town Road Cowboy Cookie mashup.
Ooh.
Bang, bang.
That is so good. TikTok, get at
Our
it.
generation ain't
Get at
ready.
it.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
honestly
ready.
feel like we gave him that idea from Cowboy Cookie for him to do that thing. Since he watched it.
Right?
I could believe it.
A lot of people are there's a lot of versions of people asking why don't we do the show for adults? And I just want to say it's a great idea, obviously. A show that gives tips to a generation to genuinely help them through their life and provide entertainment and comedy. Great idea. We could do that in the 20s, post-college, real
Sometimes
life.
I feel like I just want to touch you when you're talking about something really passionate and be like, hi. Tell me.
Her foot's on
Right on his dick.
my
No.
it's on my thigh.
He's on his side. It's not on my side. It's not on my thigh. It's not on his dick. But hold my hand while you say that, and you can talk to them. But just feel me.
It would be it's a great idea, friends who ask about this, Ned heads who ask about this, and I agree. And I thought of it, if you want to find one. And I thought of it, and so did Scott Fellows, who created Neds, but we don't own the IP for Neds. So we developed an idea. We pitched it to the studio who owns the IP. They loved it because our pitch was fire. And as of now, they're just passing on it. That's it. They're just... As of now, they're just passing on it. I don't know. They made iCarly. It looked right. We could do Neds, but honestly...
It means a lot to us just to be doing this.
Honestly. And maybe it's better to be doing a pod that we own and we get to just be ourselves on and not enter a whole nother like 3, 4, 5 year journey on the show as Ned, Mose, and Cookie. Maybe it's cool to do a podcast. Maybe it's cool.
Maybe it's... I don't know. Maybe it's more the medium we need to tell people. And
after I spiraled into deep depression after them turning down the Neds reboot, because I'm going to be real, guys. I needed it. I needed it. I have felt so far from my own career and my own relevance and my own financial stability as an adult. It's scary. And Neds made so much sense to me. I get messages all the time about it. It made so much sense to me. Like, oh, let's do this. This will be good for everyone involved. It'll be good for the problems I'm trying to solve in my life. So I put some need on it.
Right.
And then to get Scott involved and Michelle, and our pitch was fire. It felt so good. And I was like, this makes sense. But the world doesn't always give you what makes sense. And after I got out of that depression about it, I actually am truly I'm okay that we're not doing it was like, oh, you know what? I trust you, life.
Yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah.
It's good.
Absolutely. No,
I thought it was an answer, but maybe it's not.
I mean, you put so much heart, soul, effort into keeping people connected, keeping people up to date, communicating. Like, you really are the go-between between, Scott and everybody and everything. And you did such a nice job on that pitch. I remember you collected all those testimonials and those.
Thanks to everyone who sent those
things. Yeah. That was just, you really put a lot of effort in, Dev.
Yeah.
And we kind of show up, but he really handles details. And, I assume that was just.
Yeah, it was 2 years. It was 2 years.
Crushing.
It was 2 years that we were working to get to the pitch meeting. So working towards it and really starting to believe in it, and then just having it just be this email pass, like love the pitch, just nah. And the thing was, Scott and I we didn't need it to be with them. We wanted them to let us license the IP. We'll go sell it.
Anything, yeah.
Oh, that's the thing that people might not know. They're like, why don't you take it to Netflix? They own it. If they don't give us permission to license it, we can't. And we asked, let us take it and we'll pay you. And they still were like, no, we're going to hold on to it. And just it was just an email. That also hurt. That also brought back old Ned shit of feeling like Ned's was the weird fucking stepchild on Nickelodeon. I don't know.
Yeah.
We kind of had that thing of just feeling like, we get great ratings, our show's great, but we're treated some type of way.
Because we don't got a headliner.
Dan Snyder's don't let them get any traction.
But we're our own thing. Yeah, so it kind of triggered some of that, which was also good to have an old wound come up and then go, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine, man.
Yeah.
We don't need this.
Coconut head.
That's how I felt when I got that email that they passed. I didn't make it.
That's tough.
You got a question?
All right. Ned Head named.
Wait. Oh, a Nedhead. I thought someone's username was Nedhead.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Angelica with the J. Oh, you just made some money on Cameo, Devon. Good stuff.
Hey.
No, he has to.
Yeah, I have to do it first.
Oh, you got to complete it. You got work to do. I barely do.
We should do it right now.
Oh, that would be dope.
Do a cameo on the pod?
Yeah.
I give people legit ass cameos. I should be charging more.
I give legit. Yes.
Well,
that's what I mean, dude. That's what I mean. And I raised it gradually.
Yeah.
And I did it because, yeah, dude, when I get your cameo, even if it takes me a second to do, it's because I'm literally I'm harvesting the energy.
Yeah.
And
I'm giving you.
I'm giving you, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I give people
my
5-10
piece of my
tops.
soul.
Yeah,
I'm just thank you and hi.
I feel you.
So
there it is.
Anyway,
get a cameo from
you deserve it.
Thanks.
All right, Angelica with a J. Angelica 16. She sent 2 questions, but this one is, what has been the best and worst part of being adults?
Wow.
Yeah,
I love
solid
that.
question.
I love that. The transition from adolescence to adulthood is a rude awakening. Like it really is. And it happens gradually over time. I would say your whole 20s, you're going through it. I feel like I thought I was an adult in my 20s. I don't think I really was until now, the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because it's hitting you in different ways.
Yeah.
Painfully
Yeah.
the entire time. Some of the obvious worst things about being an adult, it's all on you, baby.
Yeah.
It's all on you.
Nobody's gonna save
Nobody's gonna save you. Any problem in your life, other people can support you in solving it, but no one's gonna come do it. If there's a mess, it's on you to clean it up. And that is really, really difficult. And I mean, the worst part of being an adult is the absolute.
That was the worst part.
Yeah, part of that is money. Is now needing to figure out how you're going to make money in a way that's sustainable, that can last over time, that provides you some level of freedom.
That's legal.
That's legal. That's doing a job that you don't absolutely hate. Not everyone gets the blessing of loving their job like we do as actors. Not everyone gets that blessing, but you don't want to hate your job. You don't want to do a job that makes you just feel like your soul is dying. So just that whole process of becoming, but this is the process of becoming an adult. And that's also the best part, is becoming responsible for your life.
Yeah.
And therefore becoming free.
Yeah.
And that's it. At first, that responsibility feels like a cage. It feels scary. It feels imposing. It makes you feel out of control. All these things. At a certain point, that's where you're free. Is when you're in your responsibility. That's where the freedom is. So that's kind of the process.
Having the choice to be responsible and then realizing why being responsible is
matters.
the choice.
Yeah, why it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you got?
Just brain development, man. Like, just that, I don't know, just this incessant need. I don't know if it just petered out by itself, but in my 20s of just like needing to be somewhere that I wasn't and needing to chase this chemical high. And unfortunately, I do bring things back to my sobriety and like my use a lot, because it really colored my life up until like, a year and a half ago. And it's like, you can change your mind. You can change your mind and you can change your activities. Whereas like sort of as a child, I think we're given a lot of ideas. We're suited up for battle and like, like a soldier with all these ideas. And what you realize is, even though there's all this shooting going on, you got to kind of like get naked and like while that's all happening, and it might like rip through you and happen. Yeah. But it's it's really like all of it should come off at a certain point. And then you pick it back up like what you need, but just the ability to like be sovereign over your mind if you like choose to be, you know what I mean? And let go of those things. All of my beliefs shattered. And that was like the worst part of being an adult and the best part, because I finally broke through that like film or whatever was holding my aura, like whatever. I leveled up, and that's really cool to know that I did that like on my own. Like I fucked it up, but then I did that. I did both. Right?
Yes.
Right? I'm a
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to die many times to become the adult that you'll continue. Like, you have to die. Your belief system, your belief structure, it has to die. Life will fucking thresh you of the identities you're holding on to that are not for you anymore. Yeah. And it sucks. And then it's beautiful when you start coming through it with that new skin and that new integration and that new identity. Oh, it's good.
And I loved how you described that as like an armor, and it's put on you by like whatever, your family, your society. Conditioning. And it's all there to help you, but it's like, okay, now I'm on this battlefield, guns are being used, bullets are flying, and I'm in this big shiny armor that's really heavy. I'd probably be better off taking some of this armor that just doesn't work so I can run a little bit faster and actually dodge those things that I want to be away from. I vibe with that. For me, one of the worst things about being an adult, truthfully, has been having to schedule. Scheduling was always something that I struggled with.
Oh, yeah.
In school, the school that lays out the curriculum. Hey, you need to know these things. And once you can take this test and prove that you did this, then you're a good boy,
Mm-hmm.
You have to be here. This is your first period, second period, third period. Okay. After school things, your parents are setting this stuff up for you, or your school is doing all this stuff for you. Then you have to do it yourself, and you have to know why it's worth you scheduling these things, plotting out that calendar for the week, and then moving on to the month, and then now I'm planning for the year. So planning, scheduling is something that is like kind of uniquely adult, because kids don't really have to do it. It's hard.
I miss the easy mark of what success is, of what good is. When you're younger, it's imposed upon you by parents and society and teachers and whatever.
Good job, gold star.
Yeah, there's a mark to hit and a structure in place for you to find it.
Yeah, and
prove it.
You get to decide what is success for you.
When you're an adult. When you're an adult, there's no mark.
Yep.
You choose the mark. You choose the
best and worst part of it. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, this freedom killing me.
Yeah,
this freedom is killing me, bro. And that's a tough one.
Especially as I live the fucking artist life, right? When I had a job and had somewhere to be during the week, that at least gave me some structure. I think it made me more productive to work a couple days on those off days. It made me more productive because some part of my life was scheduled. Man, the times...
Your time became precious.
Yeah, the times where I have no external deadline or structure, it all has to be on me to set it.
Yeah.
I can set my alarm and say, I want to wake up in the morning because it's good for me. If I don't have something I have to do... I know I don't have to wake up.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, get up, Devon, but I can talk to myself and say, bitch, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I go back to sleep. I fight the snooze.
Well, put it on that calendar. Use that calendar.
Yeah, that's some real.
Daniel
knows.
I love Daniel, what time do you get up in the morning?
It depends. It depends on what's going on. I'm not gonna be one of those podcast guys. See, you gotta wake up at 3 a.m., run 7 miles, and then make $100,000 in 5 seconds. I'm not gonna do that. I'm like an 8 o'clock guy. I'll aim for 8 o'clock. But then if it's a weekend, it'll be like
8:15.
8:15. Yeah, on the weekend.
Dang, that's awesome.
Best part.
Best part about being an adult? Ooh. Best part would be, man, you have the option to entertain yourself in any way you want. There aren't really restrictions on the
I knew it was going to be something in this vein.
Oh, yeah? I mean, you can do what you want to do, man. You can get up, disappear, go off the face of the world, the face of the earth if you want, kind of. I mean, within reason. But it's great that you can do what you want. And as tough as money is, you can set goals, make enough money to do those things that you want to do. So
I love that. That's real.
Oh, I thought you just meant strip clubs.
Oh, well, no, you could. I'm not a strip club fan. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, not either.
I'm like, I prefer the internet.
Only a little.
But yeah.
You want to pick a question?
Sure.
Traveling. The traveling I did, I guess when this airs, it would have been the traveling I did in 2022. Really was my first time really feeling that freedom of I can just go. Yeah. I can just fly somewhere and just rent a car, I'm an adult. I can fly somewhere and just take time. This is nice.
Yeah, Mom, I'm headed to Brazil. Is that okay? No. Just take your ass to Brazil.
Dude, I literally took a trip last year that I only told a couple people about. Because when I went to Europe for 6 weeks, obviously my mom knew about that. And everyone knew, hey, I'm going to be gone for 6 weeks. But I took a 5-day, I took a 5-day trip last year that I only told a couple friends about. And part of it was I've never really done, I didn't tell my mom. I didn't, I kind of wanted to experience, I am a sovereign adult. I can just go fly somewhere. Some part of it, I wanted the secret. I wanted it to be it feels good. Mine.
Yeah.
It felt good. I don't need to tell anyone about this. This is for personal reasons. And I'm going to go do this.
Yeah. I'm not fulfilling anyone else's goal.
I didn't share it on social media. I don't know. Something about it. Yeah. It did feel I don't know, a nice little
I got no strings
thing.
on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one even knows I'm here.
Oh, and this is the last one, so pick a good one.
I can't.
Oh, you can't even pick one, Lindsey? All right. There's so many, right?
I don't know what we should answer.
All right, we're gonna do one more questions, babies.
I'm so bad.
That's great.
Feels so bad.
Man. Dude, do you guys ever remember singing You Gotta Know When to
Hold
Up?
up. Know when to fold up. Know when to walk away.
Hey.
Know when to run. You never count.
Wait, is this legal? Can we
probably
do this?
not.
We can't sing
We
that?
can't be
But
used at
no,
all.
I remember. Did we sing that with Mary Ellen?
What?
I hope not. I remember doing it though.
All right. Here's
Kenny
a
Rogers.
good one that was clearly translated, so it's not asked. Whatever. Forgard girl.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Oh, for gargle.
For gargle.
Yeah, thank you.
For
Sorry,
That's
you're
exactly
right.
what I said.
Okay.
I nailed it.
Okay.
They asked why good things most end, why good things most end.
Must end?
Most
Or
end.
most good
That's what I'm
things
saying.
end.
I think it's that. I think they translated it and it's like flipped.
Let me see.
Things only begin to
Why
end.
good things most
Some
end.
things
Why
end
good things most
sooner
end.
than
I think
others.
why do most?
Some
I'm gonna
things
take that as
last.
why do most good things end?
Okay, cool.
And I just want to
Because
say,
just like a
Just like
flower wilts,
coconut head, cabeza de
so
coco.
must all good
yeah,
things.
Lindsay's got it. I just want to say, guys, we live in a natural world. There
Yeah.
are natural laws.
Yes.
There are natural patterns that we cannot escape.
Yeah.
Life comes in cycles. Look at the natural world, flowers, trees, all this shit. Good things have to end because from their ending, shit gets rearranged and new good things can grow. And these are the cycles you have to embrace.
Think of
in your life.
Think of any new relationship, friendship, job, anything that you're starting as this head of lettuce in your fridge, right? And now this could be some like supercharged hormone lettuce, right? That could last you a few years.
GMOs.
Or that stuff could be bad overnight. So just know that your life is a rotting head of lettuce. All right. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Damn.
It does get a little
Right?
That's real shit right there.
But it's real. You do have to like create your own relationship with this dynamic because definitely as I've gotten older, seeing how many parts of my life have come and gone, how many lives I've lived, how many identities I've lived, how many
lettuces you've thrown
many
away? How much
lettuces
lettuce you've
I've
thrown
thrown away?
Lettuces. Where am I?
how many lettuce I've thrown away from my fridge. Like after a while, there was a point where I was like going through like a dark night of the soul, just being like, should I start anything? Does anything fucking matter?
Yeah.
It's nihilism.
Nihilism
Total
is a part
Bro.
of existential, like it's a part of it is recognizing everything is gonna end, but also everything is gonna begin again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
thing. In the Vedic worldview, it's like an understanding that there are like kind of three base forms in the universe: creation, maintenance, and destruction, and they each lead into the other.
Yeah.
So creation occurs, something new happens, it's beautiful. When you slip into the maintenance phase, now you're maintaining it, but chaos is starting
Entropy,
to press.
it has to go down.
Entropy
Physics.
is starting to press against it. At a certain point, that breaks down into destruction. Destruction breaks down all the components, and then you have new shit to create from. And this is the natural spiraling cycles of our life.
I mean, dang.
This has been the Neds Declassified
Podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah, good things
great-
gotta end.
Great questions, guys. Thanks
Thank
for
you
like,
so much. Those were
listening,
good.
submitting. We'll do more like question
And we are
episodes.
literally in the same boat as you.
That's it.
Yo, I will go with the tip of today would be, or a tip for today would be to just acknowledge that there are cycles in life and it is okay to experience them, and you're gonna experience them whether you like it or not. So just embrace the journey, have fun doing whatever you're doing.
And just like check in with yourself, reevaluate what success means to you, and if you're becoming a person you want to be in efforts to get that one thing for success, just keep reevaluating what you actually give a shit about.
I love that. My tip is throw away the moldy lettuce in your fridge. Thanks for playing. See you next week, Netheads.
Peace. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the Neds Declassified Podcast Survival Guide. If you guys want some clips from the show, go on over to Podco's YouTube channel. And you can also support our Patreon for more weekly bonus content. You guys know you want to see it. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.